Hey everyone, Michelle here with Scrappy Soul Sister. Thank you for joining me today for this process video. I am working on the October limited edition My Creative Scrapbook kit. And so that kit is all about fall. And so I do have an unboxing video out there, but it is mainly simple stories, simple vintage autumn breeze. There's also a few photo play papers in there. There's some 49 and Market embellishments as well as the simple stories. So it's really a well curated kit. And so I thought I would use this pumpkin paper today. Now this is one of my favorite papers. I also have the titles that come in the kit. This is Plum Rose art options from 49 and Market, and I thought I would either use Gather or up here. I'll show you on the other side. It shows the whole dealio. Either Gather or Family for this picture of my friend Melina and her family at the pumpkin patch. Now I'm also trying to be more focused when I create my layouts, and so I drew a little sketch of what I'm planning on doing. Very basic. So I'm just going to tear some of the paper and adhere it on white cardstock. Now this is Hughes, something Hughes. It's really heavyweight. I got it at my little scrapbook store, and I have already put one coat of gesso on it. I am going to go ahead and attach my paper maybe here, and then maybe do just a little bit more clear gesso because I want to use my alcohol inks today. And so I pulled out, I don't have a whole lot of alcohol inks. They fit in my little box. But as far as colors go, let me get this out here. Have an orange, a kind of gold color. That yellow is pretty bright. Maybe not that. None of the purples. I have that rosewood. I have sienna. That looks like it probably is a better match. Mushroom. That goes with everything. I have moss and Dijon. And so I will probably try to narrow it down to maybe 3 or 4. So this orange is maybe a little bit brighter than I need. And then maybe I'll either take out the sienna or the moss, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I don't mind, like, I don't even know if I count these as colors because they are, you know, so like maybe more neutral. But I probably will eliminate one of these 3. So, all right, that is my plan. Let's see what we come up with. And I will say, I think I have a couple other pictures of their time, so I might add one more picture. We'll see. Okay. So I've already torn my pumpkin paper. This paper is so cute. I really love it. And I have attached it down and applied clear gesso over the top. And I am going to get started with some texture paste. Now my texture paste is just a Liquitex Basics acrylic modeling paste. I'm taking it through a stencil there from my stash. And so, as you can see, I neglected to film a lot of the process of the alcohol inks. I'm going to go ahead and add some white splatters. And so, because of this, I hadn't finished all my layouts yet when I made this one. Obviously, this I think was the first layout I did. So I have another layout coming up that intentionally used alcohol inks with so I could film the whole process. So that will be coming out later in the month. So be sure to check it out. I also applied modeling paste through a smaller stencil that kind of gives it a linear little dot look. Um, and so now I'm going to go ahead and start applying some rub-ons. So this one is these are the days that I'm applying up to the top right of my alcohol ink. I'm also going to apply Perfect Pick, and then I am uh, going to apply my title there under my pumpkin paper. So, doing just a tiny little sketch that took me all of like 10 seconds to draw out really helped me keep this layout more concise. So if you feel like your layouts grow and get large, first of all, there's nothing wrong with that. Most of mine are like that. But if you do want to add some white space, a text or a little sketch might help you keep some focus. So there is my family title. So I'm going to make sure that is straight and go ahead and apply it. Now, I use a little ball stylus when I do these. I have a ball stylus that came with a flower forming set from Sizzix. And so I use the large ball for um, the larger pieces, and then the small ball really helps with just little bits that don't want to apply. 49 and Market stand for rub-ons are amazing. They go on so well. But this paper is gessoed, and so that makes it fight it just a little bit. So I think that I am ready to start looking at some embellishments. So I'm at this point not sure what I am doing with my photo. And so I know it's going to go in that pumpkin paper somewhere, but I haven't decided if I want to do it, kind of centered in that paper. So it really has a strong diagonal, or if I want to do it closer to the title. So while I'm thinking about it, I said, well, I'm just going to tackle this embellishment cluster off to the right. I add that large fall leaf that comes in the kit, and I am using quite a few of the embellishments from the 49 and Market laser pieces. I love a long sprig to give a cluster just a little bit more linear look. And so I'm using this one as well as one of the Prima flowers. I'm going to tuck in a ticket and a pumpkin, a few flowers, and this little cluster is coming together pretty easily. And I use collage medium to hold down my flower. So I'm going to hold it down for a bit just to make sure that it is stuck down there really nicely. And there's the pumpkin I was talking about. And I'm also going to add this little phrase that says gathered together since it's a family photo. And off camera, or maybe while I was talking about my film failure regarding the alcohol inks, I did splatter both with white and a little bit of blood. So just want to make sure I mention that. And I'm going to go ahead and tuck some things in, get them adhered. This is the little ticket I was talking about. And just trying to make sure there's a good representation of shapes and colors. I'll go ahead and trim off that side, and now I'm ready to start looking at the photo. So I'm going to go ahead. I had previously matted it with white and then the orange polka dots and then the red, or I guess it's more of a orange red plaid. And so that is done. I did distress those layers, and I am going to put it closer to the family title. It doesn't feel large enough. I'm thinking about what I want to do. I go ahead with a few other little elements while I'm thinking. I have those leaves there. Um, I like the look of, the kind of falling leaves, but instead of that little cluster to the right of the photo, it feels like that's just maybe a little distracting. I am going to change that, but I left it here in the video just so you can see, you know, the process, and this looks just fine. It could be if I had done this a different day, I might have left it. Just you kind of go with how you're feeling as you're creating, right? So I do decide to make the layers under my photo a little larger, and I use the one of the cut aparts from the packaging of the laser elements from 49 Market to make my picture a bit bigger, that cluster. And I like that a lot more. And so because of that, I decide to eliminate this orange leaf and that pumpkin. And I am just going to focus on building that large cluster above with just a few pieces next to the photo. Okay, everyone, I need to come on and talk to you or talk through how I finished this layout because my camera stopped filming. Nothing but camera problems this month for me, so my apologies, bear with me. And I think a lot of the layout was complete. I just added a few finishing touches down here to the right, just being this little heart, and then I added the flower up here, and then I built this cluster up here. And so I layered one of the embellishment clusters of flowers, layered that on top of each other. I have a piece from the 49 and Market laser cuts as one of my base pieces here, along with my leaf. I have some of the star flowers. I added a couple of the dimensional flowers from the kit and a green ticket that I cut out of the ticket paper from Simple Stories, added a little heart and filled with gratitude. I also added a little flower here, and then I wanted to fill up the space. I had been thinking about building a cluster with a leaf in here, but it felt like that was a lot, and so I used this little sign on the ticket, and it says right here, right now, and so that is my layout. So thank you for joining me today. Check out my Creative Scrapbook, and I hope you have a great day, and I will see you on my next video. Thank you, everyone.